This channel is meant to document my watch collecting journey, but I don't do a lot of documenting. And so today I thought we'd actually go through because I have a lot of new things in my collection. I got my very first case pouch. I've actually bought 3 new watches recently, and the watch rolls and the straps go with the watches. So I'll just kind of explain it as I go. So the first watch I purchased recently was the Orient Ray 2. I said I wanted to talk about Orient in one of my other videos. I've really been trying to explore micro brands. Orient isn't really a micro brand, but it's a lesser known brand. Honestly, I've been wearing this one pretty sparsely just because of how big it is. But I am going to make a full review on it, and I do like it. Spoilers for the review, I guess. But yeah, it is a great watch. I got this one for about $130 on Facebook Marketplace. An absolute steal, I think. It's an automatic Japanese movement. You know, it's got the mineral crystal. It's very good bezel action. Everything's aligned, unlike Seiko's. And you can just get amazing deals on Facebook Marketplace. So that's where I've been looking. And that actually is where I got my other watches too. But I'll go over that in a bit. If you are another watch collector looking for great deals, great value, underrated brands, definitely go to Facebook Marketplace. That's my recommendation. You can kind of avoid all the fees and the biddings of eBay. eBay is a good place to look too, but I prefer to do Facebook Marketplace. And I've actually met a ton of new watch enthusiasts. People who watch my videos is crazy. We'll be talking about trading watches, and they'll be like, actually, I know you from YouTube. And I'm like, what? Like, that's crazy. That reminds me of another story. I went to the gym the other day, and the guy who was like, you know, he scanned you in, he recognized me from YouTube. And that's crazy because I've never seen this guy other like than right there. And he's like, "Hey man, I knew I recognized you somewhere." I'm like, "Oh yeah," and he's like, "I watch your YouTube videos." And let me just say thank you to anyone who does watch these videos. That's so cool. Leave your stories in the comments. I will read them, and I love hearing about your stories too. But yeah, I'm excited to make the video on the Orient. It's a great watch, underrated, undervalued. What's not to love? The next purchase I made was my Dan Henry, and this one I've been wanting this Dan Henry 1962 chronograph for a long time. I've been like watch stalking it for months, probably years at this point. And I really wanted the limited edition version because it had the monochrome black and white color scheme. If you don't know, the regular 1962 Panda dial comes with a red seconds hand. And overall, I mean, it's just, I'm not a big fan of the red second hand. I like this more modern look. I put it on the Artem strap. I did a collab with Artem, and that was super fun. I still have some other straps I have to review for them, but it's just such a nice looking watch. The blue and the black and the white go so well together. I've gotten compliments on this watch. My girlfriend loves it. Again, I got this one on Facebook Marketplace. I got this one for about $150 plus more, but we'll talk about that in a second. And just $150 for this watch is incredible. It has so much detail to it, and I will be doing a full review on this one as well. But it has the domed crystal on it, and it has a mecha quartz movement in the back. And I really like this because it gives it that snappy reset when you're using the chronograph function. It's such a classy looking watch, and I'm excited to talk about it more. For $150, I got this amazing watch, but I also got this watch roll. So this is the Dan Henry watch roll that this watch comes in. And there's actually a case too, but I don't use it. This is my very first watch roll, and this thing is awesome. Holds 3 watches, and it folds up real tight. You kind of fold them down and you fold it up. I was gonna go see my friend today, and I wanted to bring some watches, and he pulled out all of his, and we were talking about them, and I brought them in this because bringing it in something like, if I were to bring my watches in something like this, it's too much. It looks dumb, and then you're walking around with this big ass box, and it's not nice. I'm a vintage first collector, and so something like this it fits the vibe, and it looks really really nice. And I mean, it's really well made. This one's not tearing at all. I mean, it looks so well made for the price. Dan Henry, you did a good job with this one. I'll give it my endorsement. I do love the Dan Henry watch rolls, and of course the watch too. I actually really like the watch. It came with 3 other straps, and these are things I don't like. Stitching is really nice. They got double-sided stitching, and overall, it tapers. Everything looks great. I don't know, it doesn't do anything for me. To be fair, I don't wear bracelets, or I don't wear straps. I only wear bracelets. And another thing I didn't like is that the bolt release or the quick release spring bars on this one, they were kind of finicky. They weren't like coming out fully and stuff like that. It just kind of scares me. I don't want my watch falling off my wrist. It's a really pretty strap. I think that they're pretty looking, but I'm just not a strap person. So I'm definitely either going to be putting it on a NATO or putting it on a metal bracelet. And that's the way I prefer to wear my watches. Anyways, I think I got great deals on these two, but before we talk about the last watch I picked up, I actually want to talk about the watches that I'm selling. First up is the Harvard chronograph. It's for sale on eBay right now, and I'm also selling it through my local vintage watch shop, Cool Vintage Watches. Go check it out if you want to buy that watch. I sold the Omega, or I traded it for a different watch, a new watch that we've been talking about. The Omega had to go because I've never vibed with Omega. I've got one Omega, it's the Omega Moonswatch. I love that watch. If you want to see more of my collection, go check out the video. I'll link it right here. But that watch is cool. I just don't need any more Omegas. I've had really bad luck with them. So yeah, the Harvard and the Omega, I'm trying to sell them, or I did sell them. I did keep this Bond Clip bracelet that came with the Harvard because this is silver and it's just a really nice and pretty rare bracelet. I overall really like this bracelet. So if I ever get another 18 mil vintage watch that would fit this, I'm gonna keep it and put it on that. That's another tip I'll give you. If you're gonna be selling a vintage watch or any watch really, keep the bracelets. You know, sometimes the bracelets you can use them for other watches, and it's just nice to have them. I usually sell my watches on a strap if I can. Another strap I picked up recently was this. This is the it's just a NATO strap. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's got the green, that khaki color with the red stripe. I feel like the strap is an iconic design, but I don't really know where it's from. I got this one from Cool Vintage Watches. It's a little cheap feeling, but it's nice. You know, it does its job. And this one works for 17 to 18 millimeter lug widths. And it's just, you know, the reason why I got it was so I could fit it to this watch we'll be talking about right now. Go ahead and take a look at it. What do you think this watch is? I'll give you a hint. I've collected this brand before. It's not a Rolex. That's another hint. And I'll give you 5 seconds to go ahead and comment what you think it is. All right, you ready? This is a Tudor Oyster Prince. And this one is the 31 millimeter option, and it is self-winding, so it's going to be automatic. And honestly, I just think it's so cool. Another reason why I love this watch is it's got the stretchy bracelet to it. So the bracelet's going to stretch out like this, and it just looks cool. It makes it really comfy to wear because the bracelet, there's no need for a quick adjustment. It just like, if I want to make it bigger, it just goes like that. I love this watch. I just picked it up because I traded the Omega for it. I've always had better luck with Tudors and Rolexes than I've had with Omegas, and so I'm really happy with this one that I picked up. I'll probably make a dedicated video for this one, but I might make a comparison video between my 2023 Oyster Perpetual and my 1950s Oyster Prince, because both are really cool watches. I'm a big fan of the Oyster line. I've always loved the watch. And I've had the Oyster Dates, I've had just the Oyster Rose, and now I've had the Oyster Prince. And I'm really happy with all of them. So yeah, oh, one more thing. This is Nevada Grenchen. It's the best watch in my collection. That's not my Rolex, but it might be leaving the collection. And you'll have to wait and see why for later. You know, as watch collectors, a bunch of watches come and go, and it's always interesting to see like where our taste and where our styles move to. If you were to ask me when I first got into watch collecting if I would collect a 75-year-old 31 millimeter automatic watch, I would have said no, because the first watch I ever got was 45 millimeters. That thing was huge on me, and now I'm collecting 31 millimeter watches. We grow, we change our opinions, we change what we think is cool. I still like bigger watches, don't get me wrong. This Dan Henry looks so great on me. I do think I can pull this Orient Ray 2 off. This is 42 millimeters by comparison. And let me put this on for you. So this is what this one looks like, right? And I'll give you a better look at that. Look at that. That stretchy bracelet just looks so cool. This is awesome, okay? I love this watch. But for comparison, for shits and giggles, this is the Orient Ray 2 on my wrist. On my 5.5 inch wrist, sometimes 5.75 depending on the day. That's like 14.5 centimeters if I'm correct. This watch, it works. It looks so good, you know? I really do think it works. It doesn't hang off on my wrist. And the black dial, you know, with the bezel kind of makes it wear a little bit smaller. Love it. Anyways, I'm excited to try a lot of new things. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know where your collection's going in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.